and
You
I
did,
nearly
yes.
persuaded you to take it on stage.
Was it white? Was it white? No.
Not nearly white, it was sort of a natural colour.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, but you do sort of remember that. But Mike, I just sort of welcome back to the West Country, and just tell me, how did it all start for you? I mean, what was the very beginning for Mike Berry?
My career, like the whole thing, or just the music.
Your sort of career.
Well, the music was skiffle, and I started with skiffle by playing washboard.
Right.
If anyone knows what washboard is, but you explain that.
I remember that.
And I used to have it strung around my neck with the, because a washboard was, as you know, a frame with a corrugated iron you used to wash your clothes in the tub.
Yeah.
So I had two legs, and I would stick the legs on my hips, and the thing was there, and I would be rattling away because I would sing without a mic, so you could hardly hear me with all this noise underneath.
Yeah.
So I used to play quieter and quieter so you could hear me singing.
Yeah.
And that was the skiffle group. We were with the Rebels, with Peter Chilks and Terry Liddington and Ray, name I can't remember. Anyway, so from there, through this guy, Mick Tamplin, I think his name was, I can't remember his name, I was introduced to this little band who were just a bunch of guys wanted to play, and we got a record deal with Joe Meek because we made a demo in Wandsworth in this bloke's front room, this John Hawkins, who used to be he was a studio engineer, but he had a setup in his house. And we made a demo of Please Don't Tease, Cliff, Bebop Alula, Gene Vincent, Dream Lover, Bobby Darin, and Peggy Sue Got Married, Buddy Holly. And anyway, we got an acetate of this, and so the guy I was working with, who told me where the studio was, also was playing with a guy he told about me and said, this guy's pretty good, you should come and see him. And this other guy, Peter Raymond, he used to be called, his name was Yakwanandi, and he used to be called Yak. And the skiffle group he had was the Yakkers.
Okay.
Anyway, he heard, through this guy I worked with, Alan, he got the acetate to Pete Raymond, who knew where Joe Meek was, and he also knew how to get hold of Jack Good.
Oh,
Who
right.
at that time we were not worthy. He was God of all he surveyed because he had TV.
Yeah.
And I went to see Jack Good first, and Jack Good said to me, because he'd heard the demo, and he was, before I even got there, he was going to sign me. And I got there, and because I was so naive, he said, right, we've got this song for you called Not Guilty. He said, you'll be in the studio next Tuesday, and this song's written by Johnny Worth, who's writing Adam Faith hits, and you're going to be the next Adam Faith. And I thought, oh, all right, because I expected to become a star.
Yeah.
I thought I was so good, such a good singer, I expected to be famous. It won't take long, because I believed all the silly films they made about all these.
But it didn't take long, in fact, did it?
Well, it took longer than it should have, because instead of going with Jack Good, which in hindsight I think I should have, I then saw Joe Meek, and because Joe, and he was by this time in his little flat above the leather shop.
Yeah.
And when I saw Joe, he said, "Oh, he said, I really like your voice." He said, "You're going to be my British Buddy Holly." He said. He said, "We're going to make this LP, because that were called LPs. Then we're going to have a picture on the front, a ghostly picture of Buddy Holly, and you're going to be on the front and in front of Buddy Holly." And I love the idea of this. And he said, "You're going to be my Buddy Holly." He's a mad smart cherry. Anyway, no, he wasn't. He was eccentric, boardroom genius, as they say. But the only other thing about his eccentricity, he also neglected to remember to pay you anything ever. I'm not bitter.
Not at all.
So anyway, I went up there with my nan,
Yeah.
who was my guardian, because my mum and dad were. My dad was off married with my mum was in America, and so I went with my nan as my guardian, and I signed with Joe as an under 21.
And what year was that? Do you remember?
That was, well, let's see. I was born in
1960?
60. Yeah, it would have been 1960, if not 59.
Right.
59, 60. Yeah, 60 probably. And well, it tells you how long it took. I thought I'd be an overnight smasheroonie.
Yeah.
And with Jack Good, I'm pretty sure I would have been, but not with that song. Not Guilty came out with.
Hello, my beloved HMTV viewers. I'm here to inform to you that Mike Berry, the English pop singer and actor renowned for his roles in Are You Being Served, and Worzel Gummidge, has passed away at the age of 82. His manager, Peter Stockton, announced that Berry died peacefully on April 11, 2025, surrounded by family. Michael Hubert born on September 24, 1942 in Northampton, England, was an English singer and actor known for his contributions to music and television. Shortly after his birth, his mother, Jaretta Jet Bourne, moved with him to North Wales, where they lived for 2 years. Jet was an amateur actress and singer, and her involvement in the performing arts influenced the family environment. The family later settled in Stoke Newington, London, where Berry attended William Patten Primary School. He passed the 11+ exam and earned a scholarship to Hackney Downs Grocers' School. However, he left school at the age of 16 without qualifications and began working as an apprentice compositor. During his youth, Berry developed a passion for skiffle and rock and roll music. He formed his own folk group called the Rebels, which later evolved into a rock band named Kenny Lord and the Statesmen. This early engagement with music set the stage for his subsequent career in the entertainment industry. Berry's career began in the early 1960s with hits like Tribute to Buddy Holly, 1961, Don't You Think It's Time, 1963, and The Sunshine of Your Smile, 1980. He later transitioned into acting, portraying Mr. Peters in Worzel Gummidge, 1979 to 1981, and Mr. Spooner in Are You Being Served, 1981 to 1985. Despite an unsuccessful audition for The Voice UK in 2016, Berry continued performing, including a sold-out show at the Half Moon in Putney in February 2025. Mike Berry, the English singer and actor, was married and had children, though specific details about his family life remain private. Public records and biographies do not provide comprehensive information about his spouse or children. Berry was known to keep his personal life out of the spotlight, focusing public attention on his career in music and television. May his soul rest in eternal peace.